The new season of 90 Day The Last Resort has aired. And to be fair, this first episode was rather electric. Electric to the point that I can already sense that we're going to have so many problems throughout this season with these couples. Oh, it feels great because we're going to have so much to talk about. But let's not waste any more time and let's dive into it. But I will say this to you folks. The copy that I do have though isn't the best copy visually. The sound is fine, but the copy isn't the best, you know what I'm saying? So don't be expecting no HD, like 4K quality, alright? But let's dive into this one and let's begin with the first couple, which I believe it's Jenny and Sumit. And this was quite interesting because the first time, my apologies, the last time we saw Jenny and Sumit on 90 Day Fiance, we was talking about how Jenny seemed as if she had an alcoholic problem. But now the tables seem to have turned.
Is that all you can ever think about?
It's
Getting drunk? The cafe closed. Sumit has changed. He likes to party and he likes
having.
It is quite interesting that now Sumit is the one that's liking to drink, or should I say partay. But it's also interesting how Jenny now feels the need to have to take control.
You drink, like it's fun.
Be right back.
Good. Yeah.
No. Don't get drunk. Right.
Responsible. Keep giving me drink.
No.
I love that. You don't normally when he drinks.
Now, to be honest with you, a lot of the times when we witness people step into their partners and say to them, hey, you've had enough to drink, usually it's actually a massive sign to say, you know what, there's something going on here that needs to be taken seriously. But you see, when Jenny goes over to Sumit to say to him, hey, baby, you need to stop drinking, some of these other folks want to then insinuate that maybe she's becoming too controlling. Well, to be fair, the men assume that maybe she's being controlling, which is the wrong approach because, to be honest with you, if I'm out and about with a friend and his girl comes over and says, hey, you've had enough to drink for today, I would be like, bro, you should listen to her. Let's respect it because clearly she's saying it from a point that matters, a point that cares. Because really and truly, people don't really go out the way to control someone when they kind of drink in a way that isn't necessarily for the positive. I mean, I would say that it is more rare to come across people to control someone in terms of drinking for a negative rather than for a positive. But that's just based on the life that I've been exposed to. You may see things differently if you've seen it differently in your lives.
Does he do something that you don't like, or?
He'll fall down on the floor and walk into a wall.
Okay, so you have experience?
Listen.
Now, bear in mind, obviously, at this time, nobody would have known about Jenny and her ALS, but we would have known that as a woman who is in her 50s, 60s, she shouldn't be in a position where she should be picking up her husband from the floor. And end of the day, because of her physical health, again, prior to even the announcement of her having ALS, it's just that we know that Jenny isn't somebody that goes to the gym. She's not somebody that really prioritizes, her muscle growth or maintaining her muscle. So we know that she's more likely to be quite a weak person anyway. So I can't imagine what it'd be like to pick up somebody who's drunk. And trust me when I tell you folks, as somebody that goes to the gym, regardless of how much weight I can lift in the gym, picking up somebody who's drunk, who literally is giving you a pure dead body, is literally one of the hardest things in the world. It absolutely humbles you, especially as a weightlifter. You're thinking, what's going on? I lift more than you in the gym, but I can't even pick you up when you're just dead drunk. So really and truly, should she ever be put in a position where she has to pick up this man? Hell to the freaking no. So I don't blame her for being, quite attentive and saying you need to stop and letting us know that end of the day, there's moments where she's had to literally try and help him to get up because of his drinking. So in my opinion, right now, I fully support what Jenny's trying to do here. But of course, now we know that she has LOS. Boy, that would have taken a toll on her even more at this point.
No.
Are you gonna have this one too?
No, you're not either.
Some bad experience before about
Yeah,
that.
just said
Sounds
it.
like it.
Yeah.
You're going to come here and get drunk. I knew it.
But
And I'm asking you to stop and you're not stopping.
we are here because I feel like you've been extra controlling. Don't.
It's funny because a lot of people that do have an addiction to something, when somebody tries to help them to stop it, one of the first things that they will accuse that person of is being controlling, or in his situation, extra controlling, which is always a massive sign to say that the person who's been accused of being extra controlling he's just trying to do the good. He's just trying to do a good thing.
I don't like it. I want to enjoy. Like we are here too for a therapy. I'm
Okay,
here to
then go enjoy.
Like the problem. The road is going only one way, Jenny's way. That's it. One side I get controlled by my mother, and other side like same way by my wife.
I mean, listen, we've always said it. At the end of the day, if you're gonna marry a woman that is literally the same age as your mother, or if not older than your mother, what do you expect? There's always gonna be a point where she's gonna treat you as if she's your freaking mother, if you are behaving like an immature person. And in this situation, you are behaving as an irresponsible person. So, tell me where Jenny's actually wrong to do this for you. Remember, she's doing this for you.
Sometimes this is the way always it is. Like always, like I cannot go
You're right.
go and have fun with my friends.
Well, you need to learn how to be friendly without alcohol.
He says to have fun with my friends. You've just met these people. You know what I mean? Like, some of them maybe you met them before the table, but this is the first time I've seen someone actually be around other people physically. Because usually, obviously, he's always in India, right? So you can't sit there and say, I just want to go out and have a drink with my friends, because none of them are actually your friends. But again, the people who want to drink usually will say, yeah, but I just want to go out with my friends, when they know damn well that those people aren't their friends. Those are people that just go out to drink with because then people allow them to drink with them. Do you see what I'm saying? The fact that he had the audacity to sit there and say, well, they're the ones who buy me drinks. Oh, shut up, man. Take responsibility that right now you are clearly not in a good place, which is fine, but it doesn't mean that you should be drinking to the point where it's now causing concerns and issues within your own freaking relationship. But hey, Sumit will do what Sumit wants, but we shall see obviously how that progresses for Sumit and Jenny as obviously as the season continues. But like I said before, this is only episode 1, so the explosiveness, I reckon that we may be in for the best season of The Last Resort thus far. But with that being said, let's continue, and now let's move on to the next one. My apologies. And the next one being Paola and Russ. And these two are OGs. These two are all the way from the very, very first ever 90 Day Fiance. The time when everybody was like 90 Day then was pure, authentic, and real. Nowadays, you know, it's a bit different. But let's get into Paola and Russ.
This is not the man I married. And that's why I went behind his back to see an attorney and to see my options about getting divorced.
Never good to hear. My apologies. Never good to hear. Never good to hear. And to be fair, when somebody is in a position where they feel they need to go behind their partner's back to see an attorney about a divorce, is everybody any attorney turning back from that point? Because you got to think about it. If you have a dispute with you and your partner, you know, there's conflict, there's things that's been growing over time and time again, to the point that you feel like, you know, a divorce is the best way forward. And when you start to think that, you end up obviously, it's something that you end up obviously doing behind their back, right? When you go behind someone's back, you're basically giving them no option to try and have their say or try and say something. And you're also basically telling yourself that you don't want them to have the option or the chance to save the relationship or to save said thing, because you've probably tried to do it many, many times and it's failed every time. So therefore, you'd rather just go behind their back, because you're afraid that if you tell them again, they're going to stop you by manipulating you, by telling you lies about how things are going to be better, but in reality, they're not going to be better. Point being is that can you go back from doing something that's behind your partner's back? I'm going to say yes, you can, but should you? No. I reckon once you decide that it is best for you just to file for the papers and just to get the advice or whatever it is you need, continue and proceed with that, because it's telling you that you no longer have confidence and belief that you can actually go to your partner with issues and they're actually going to help you there. It's telling you that you've given up on that option. And when you've given up on the option, it's a lot of work to redeem that. So really and truly, the fact that she's in this position tells me that she's now fully checked out of that relationship and shouldn't turn back. But hey, give me your thoughts.
This is Russ's last chance to actually save this marriage. And if he's not going to show me that he's willing to change, I'm going to leave him. And I feel like...
And let's just make it clear. She said this is his last chance. So she's making it abundantly clear that she's making options. Her behavior right now is due to his behavior. Now, normally I would sit and say, but where's your accountability? But what about the things you may be doing wrong? But it seems to me as if there's things that obviously they've spoke about that she's asked from him that he has not done. And maybe in that conversation, he's asked her to do something and maybe she has followed through, but he's never followed through with the things that she's requested, which is why she's like, well, if he doesn't turn things around, well, then I'm done. But boy, let's get into it.
Like that motivation person, the person who used to love to work and used to have this driven, like I used to admire him. I feel like he's not longer there.
To be fair, when you meet someone who is driven, somebody who's passionate, somebody who's willing to work, somebody that is, pretty much showing the traits of what a man's supposed to be, right, based on whatever standard you follow, and then all of a sudden that completely goes. I can understand how that can take a massive toll on a relationship, especially if that person's attitude becomes worse upon worse towards the relationship because they have now lost motivation to work and to do better for themselves as well as for the relationship. So I can understand how that can be draining. Now, in these situations, the option that you have usually is to be patient with that person, to support that person, to help that person come out of that rut and to do whatever. But at the same time, though, there is always a threshold. So maybe she's already tried doing that and he's still stuck in this run where now it's just making the relationship worse but worse, which is what has forced the hand to be like, you know what, I need out. But listen, there's more, because based on the way this ends, to be honest with you, I'm going to say before the season's even bloody started properly, their relationship is doomed. But you're going to find out why in a minute.
We just, I feel like it's a big expense. I see him now as an expense because, I support everything for my son. I pay for everything. Why do I need someone who is not supporting me economically, but is bringing...
And bear in mind, this conversation isn't about money. She's just saying that, like, before he was the one that was supporting us, but now I'm supporting. But now I have money. All of a sudden, I'm now supporting us. We were supposed to build together. So whilst he was supporting us financially, once I was able to work, the idea was then we can combine our money together, so therefore we can support each other. But for some reason, the tables have completely turned, and he's not trying to do anything about it. So let's just bear that in mind.
Supporting me economically, but is dragging me down with. And I want us to put my son through that. So is that the reason why I'm staying there? So because I don't want my son to go through that? But that's not.
Nobody should ever stay in a relationship because they are concerned or because they are worried about breaking up is going to make an issue for the child. Listen, I'm going to tell you this now. One of the best things you can do as a parent when you're role modeling strength to your kids is showing them that sometimes if something isn't working, it's best to walk away rather than to stay in it, knowing that's going to make you unhappy. The amount of people that come from very unhappy households because mom and dad stay together for the wrong reasons is quite sad, because you end up seeing it in themselves. Because what usually happens is people that come from a background where they experience mom and dad being together, despite the fact that mom and dad didn't want to be together, those people end up potentially more likely end up being in a relationship with somebody that they don't even want to be with, but then they stick it out because mommy and daddy role model that it's best just to stick it out for the sake of sticking it out. Do you see what I'm saying? So people need to be very careful and very wary about staying in a relationship because you think it is best for the kids. Because as kids, we see and sense everything and it affects us later on in life. So what you role model with your partner is very key to the kind of person your partner is going to potentially want to be with. So end of the day, if you break up because it's not working, but then you have a healthy co-parenting experience around your child, then your child will be able to see that mom and dad aren't together, but they still will both able to come together when needed to do the best thing for me as a child. And then therefore that reflects again for them when they have kids, as well as also when they get into a relationship as well. Because it is displaying something healthy rather than something that is sad, depressive, etc., etc. So really and truly, for Paula to stick in this relationship or to wonder if she's stuck in a relationship because of reasons, well, her choice right now to want to leave is making more sense.
Not fair. I'm very confused about my feelings, what I feel about him. I don't remember when was the last time I actually told him I love you back. I cannot just snap at it and come out oh yeah, now we're here. Let's go and reconnect. It's not that easy. But I'm doing this.
When it's no longer not easy to snap back into let's reconnect, just know the journey is going to be very hard if you want to stick through it. It's going to be very hard. And sometimes that journey can be so hard that even when it comes to its conclusion, the conclusion is that we're not together anymore. It's going to hurt you even more to a certain degree, potentially. But either way, though, she can't even remember the last time she told him she loved him. Damn. Why the hell was he still here? That's the flip side. The flip side is Russ himself in particular. Why are you still the woman that doesn't even want to tell you that she loves you? That should tell you everything that you need to know. But then again, that also proves what she's kind of saying regarding the fact that he's no longer a motivated person to want to go work, to want to go do things in his life, because he's so stuck in a rut of complacement that he's still willing and still happy enough to stay in a relationship where the wife doesn't even tell him that she loves him. That is a very sad marriage.
Because of the history that we have, and maybe I'm in it wrong, and I don't see his point of view. I don't know.
So shares the bed with us.
How old is Axel?
Axel's 6 years old now.
Your sex life.
Tremendously.
It's not oh, let's do it. It's gonna be fun. It's more let's get it done with. I don't know.
Unfortunately for them, because their child who's 6 years of age is still sleeping in the same bed as them, which is very, very unhealthy for the child, let alone unhealthy for the relationship. It has now caused their intimate life to be pretty much described as.
I feel like I just, I did like, I don't know, I feel like I just, a dead cow in there and like, okay.
And now she feels like she's nothing but just a dead cow when they have intimacy. That is sad. I guarantee you they probably don't even kiss. It's probably just pure cold intimacy, if anything. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. But hey, it's only episode 1, and this is what I'm saying to you folks. It's only episode 1 and so much has already happened. So this season is looking good. But now we'll move on to the next one, and this one here is all about Kara and G. And you know what? Kara is...
I now pronounce you Lord of the Dicks.
Why? Like, this is utter bullying. Wow. I mean, they're in England or somewhere in the UK, and you know they find these royal clothes, you know, from back in the day, or that kind of stuff, and they want to kind of they're having a good time. You know, he's laughing, you know, she's allegedly laughing, and then she's like, "Oh, let me knight you," and then says, "You're the Lord of the what?" She truly knew how to make a moment of just casual laughter for the first time in however long between these two. She knew how to just to make into something that was just unnecessary. I don't know what's wrong with Kara, but like the way she treats this dude is crazy business, and the fact that he still sticks around is weird to me. And the fact that he has the audacity at one point to say that I still want to try and make this relationship work. Why? Where is the backbone for this guy? Honestly, I worry that someone like him, no matter what woman he's going to be with in this world, the relationship may not always go well, because I feel like if he's of a woman, I feel like some women may think he's just being too nice. Some women may find that even boring. All I'm saying is that he doesn't seem to show much of a backbone. And even when he's tried to have a backbone, he doesn't stand by his words. You see what I'm saying? He really needs to learn. I'm going to assume that he was raised in a house with no father. Or maybe his father was just trash. I'm just saying, because the way he allows himself to be bullied and to be picked on or to be just disrespected by Kara is wild. No wonder why she behaves the way she is, because she knows she can get away with X, Y, Z. So much to the point that, pay attention.
And then allegations of cheating happened, and so it just was a recipe, I think, for downfall. And so we decided that living apart was probably going to be the best solution for the time being, and now we've lived apart for over a year.
You've lived apart for over a year, and now you want to do what? Do you want to come on the last resort to get some therapy session? It's been a year. Your relationship is dead. Let's just call it what it is. But now this is the key point here where...
Last times that I was in the bed with you, you used me
For what?
to have sex.
You were a willing participant.
This is what I mean. Like, you're allowing yourself... Okay, first and foremost, intimacy takes two people for it to happen, right? Point blank period. To say that she used you, which, listen, in this world, men and women can be used for intimacy. But listen, there's no lies behind that. But here's the thing, though. In this situation, this is a woman that you're married to. She's invited you to obviously join her in the bed. She's put it onto you, and what has happened? You have agreed to want to sleep with her back. Therefore, she's not using you, because all she did was flirt with you, da-da-da-da-da. Now, for me personally, when it comes to somebody using you, it's more when somebody lies to you. When somebody says, so let's say, for example, she said to you, you know, oh, I've been thinking about us getting back together, you know, I really want us to spend time together, da-da-da-da, and she was doing it just to use you for the bedroom. You know what? That's fine, because if she did that, and then after you've had intimacy, she then said, oh, no, I don't want you to be with you, then yeah, that she's used you, but she's lied to you, right? She's manipulated you. That's not what happened, buddy. That's not what happened. At the end of the day, she presented herself and you said, God damn, yes, of course, mommy, I'll have some more of that. That's what happened. But obviously, the question is, why does he believe that she used him?
Try to sleep with you again as a normal couple, and you didn't want it. So then I don't even want to get close to the same place. That's why.
But because obviously another time he then tried to obviously, you know, initiate it, she rejected it. He's now feeling like as if she used him. Now, of course, I can fully understand and respect why he believes that she used him. And I'm not going to say that she didn't use him for a little bit of intimacy, right? But it doesn't change the fact that she didn't have to actually manipulate you or coerce you or anything like that. You was happily to participate. So therefore, you wasn't actually used. Her intention was to obviously just only have intimacy with you, but you agreed without being manipulated. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, of course, if he decided to agree to have intimacy because he thought maybe it was going to give their relationship like a new light. Maybe he thought if we have intimacy together, then maybe that means we're going to be back together. If that's what he thought, that's on him. That is you having that perception, you having the expectation of that result. Do you see what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. But listen, at the end of the day, his reaction should have been like, okay, so we slept together. All right, cool. The next day or so, he tried to sleep with her. He didn't try to sleep with her. She says no. He can then say to her in that conversation, okay, so why did we sleep the other day? She could then easily say, well, because I just wanted us to have intimacy, right? Okay, in that conversation, if he then still feels used, he could have said to her, okay, in that case, unless we're working towards something that is involving us being back together, we cannot do this again. That is the correct answer. That is the correct response he should be giving her. Not the, oh, but you used me. Oh, bro, you was happy to participate. No, that's just silly. It's lazy. The response should be, last time we had intimacy, I didn't like the fact that after that, when I tried to do it, you said no. So if we ever get to that point again, I'm only willing to do it if it means that we're trying to build to something. And then if she says yes, then sleeps with you again, but then has the same tone again, then you know that, hey, it's a madness. Do you see what I'm saying? But to go in direct for those she's using me is just lazy. But this is the issue nowadays. This is why the world is lacking, so not the world, but I say probably predominantly countries like the UK, America, Canada, This is why they're now lacking real, authentic, actual good men with backbones, because a lot of them just want to whine and cry and complain and just be like, oh, mama. Bro, like...
Because I feel like Guillermo never supported my music and he didn't come to my shows. And he accused me of cheating when nothing was happening. It takes two people to make it or break it. And I'm not.
So here's the thing, you see. Cara just needs to stop talking. The fact that she's saying that, well, end of the day, I don't really want to be with this guy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. If you don't want to be with him because of all these things that you claim, then don't sleep with him then. Listen, the same heat that I gave him, I'm going to give her back. You know what I mean? Nobody's safe. I'm never biased. People sometimes think I am, but I'm never biased. Everybody gets the same heat. And the heat you're getting right now is at the end of the day, if you're going to whine and complain that this man did not support you, then guess what? Don't sleep with him and just leave him alone. Simple as 1, 2, 3. But with that being said, though, let's move on to the next one. And this one here being Zaid and Rebecca, two people that we have not seen in a while as well. Oh, interesting one this one is going to be.
I've been cheated on before. I've always tried not to bring that into my relationship with Zaid, but he's making it really hard to do that.
You've been cheated on before, and Zaid is making it hard for you. Okay. To not feel like he's cheating. Okay, interesting.
Not with a blonde. Every time lately that I call Zaid out on the sketchy behavior that he's doing, he basically just threatens to leave. He tells me that I don't trust him and he's done with it. And honestly, that's exactly what cheaters do.
For a woman of her age, which means a woman of her experience in life, why are you still with him then? If he's already showing you traits of X, Y, Z, and you feel like no matter how many times you have a conversation with him, the reassurance he's giving you isn't reassuring you, then why are you still here? Leave. Bounce. That's it. Simple solution. Everything that she just said there is definitely identifying that, not necessarily that he is a cheater, but it is identifying that the chances of her getting over him being a cheater, very, very slim. It means that she's always going to have this in the back of her head no matter what. Basically, she wants him to always be attached to her hip all the time, no matter what. It's the only way she's going to know that everything's going to be A-okay. But unfortunately, due to the fact that she used to be a PI or private investigator, whatever, he's showing all of these traits that she used to identify with when she would be looking for people that were doing these things to their partners.
How men or women, they started going out with different friends. There's everything that Zaid is doing right now. So if that's the case, 100% I'm done.
You know when they always say 100% and I'm done, and then it's like 100% you're still here. People that are 100% done don't ever tell you they're 100% done. They just say, you know what, I'm out, see you later. And then they tell everybody, I was done, so I left. Nobody ever says I'm 100% done before leaving and then actually leaves. You see what I'm saying? Get the hell out of that nonsense.
Men want to control his relationship. He's the man in the house.
If you think I'm not letting you be the man right now,
No,
then
I
you
don't
definitely
mean that.
need a Tunisian wife.
But you...
Ooh.
I'm triggered. A woman talks like this with her man. I'm triggered. You are puking with him.
Shut up.
Girl, don't talk to my husband like that, first of all. There's no need.
Jeez Louise.
Shut up.
Now that little last bit there, I just wanted to show it because I want to show you guys what's coming up with this season moving forward. Because god diddly damn, I tell you what, right now, this face, that's a woman that if you get on her wrong side, it's a long day for you. Shekinah tried to defend her man, and we're going to get into Shekinah and Sarper because their argument is actually based on how Sarper didn't actually defend her, which is quite fascinating. But you see that right there? That's the woman that you don't want to mess with the whole time you're in this whole experiment or whatever the hell you want to call this nonsense. But Sarper's a piece of work, and we're going to talk about him when we get to them. But with that being said, though, when it comes to Zaid and Rebecca, it's very clear to me that if she cannot let go of this part of her, and actually, you know what, forget that. The fact that he threatens to leave her each time she accuses him of the cheating allegations is more than a perfect example why they shouldn't be together. Simple as that. Even if he is allowed to be the man of the house or whatever, the fact that he uses that threat is not good because that is not reassuring in any shape or form. But at the same time, though, being with someone you have to reassure all the time is draining, which also can be evidence to why some people just shouldn't be together. Oh boy, there's so much to unpack, but let's dive into Patrick and Dias.
For the last year, Dice has just been going on a bunch of trips to Brazil, but when she's there, she kind of goes dark sometimes and like I can't get a hold of her. Spending a lot of money on these trips, I just don't know what's going on.
Now, of course, with the current divorce situation that is happening between Patrick and Dias, I did say to you folk that from what I have seen on social media, it seems to me as if Dias isn't really always there actively for her child. And it's crazy because I said it, and I think I even compared her to Cara because I saw there were similarities to her and Cara. Her and Cara seem to always be out and about doing things. And it seems as if the fathers are the ones that are predominantly always there for the child. And then to hear this here confirms that to a certain degree. It's funny because people said, you can't compare Dias and Cara together, blah, 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 blah. Well, there you go, folks. He's even saying himself that she's always out and about doing certain things, but where the hell is she for our child? But to make it worse, we'll get there when we get there.
I went to Brazil like to see her family, but like needed to stay in an Airbnb. Like it does make it easier for someone to stop by.
Okay, so there's an inference here that you think perhaps she has cheated on you. And with
Now, bear in mind, she's gone to Brazil to see her family, but then also on top of that, she's staying in Airbnb, which is very, very suspicious. And now, of course, brings the question of infidelity.
saying it.
Yeah. Like random charge on the credit card for like almost $2,000.
Right,
Like
he keeps tracking the credit cards. I don't know why you don't trust me.
because I'm worried where Elise is, and you're not telling me where she is, and then you're out till like middle of the night.
Now, to clarify, Elise is their child. So he's also out saying, listen, I'm back home in the States while you're out there with your family, and I know you're out and about until God knows what time, but with that being said, where the hell was our child? Now, I would imagine that their child would have been with her family. But that's the interesting part. Why would Elise be with the family if you're now got an Airbnb? Do you see what I'm saying? That's why I can understand why he has his paranoia regarding infidelity, because you got Airbnb, but you couldn't have our child with us at Airbnb because you was out and about, which means our child must have been with your parents. So why have you got Airbnb? If our child's going to be with parents anyway, shouldn't you be there too? So that means obviously she will take her child to Brazil, probably just so they can have a life-on experience with their nan and granddad in that area, do you see what I'm saying? Or their granddad, do you see what I'm saying? And have that experience of obviously the Brazilian lifestyle, but not necessarily to actually go there and actually spend time with your child, with your family. Seems as if it's one of those cases where, based on assumption, this is nothing but an assumption, when she goes to Brazil, she goes there literally just because her dad wants to see his granddaughter, and then their daughter Lisa will stay there the whole time while she's out there with Airbnbs, gallivanting around, doing X, Y, Z, and therefore now he's having his own paranoia regarding the fact that she may be cheating. Is he wrong to feel the way he's feeling? Absolutely not. Now also, let's talk about that 2,000. So of course, if you got 2,000 coming out of your bank account, of course you're going to be suspicious of where the hell it has gone and where it has gone. And the fact that she did that without telling him is crazy business. But then to reveal it was because it was for back lipo, that is wild. Why would she need lipo on her back? Like, the woman's always slim. And if anything, I don't know if that's a belief or a reason, to be honest with you. But either way, though, lipo on your back, well, the world that we're getting into is crazy. You know what's crazy as well? Our back is like literally one of the most easiest places, give or take, to actually lose weight. You know, it's crazy. Like, literally recently, for the past month, I've changed my whole diet just because I wanted to just shed a little bit of weight, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to feel a bit lighter for said reasons. And I noticed that instantly my whole back weight was going quicker as nothing. People were like, hey man, your back's looking way more defined than before. And I'm like, I don't know, I can't see my back, you know what I mean? But then I look behind, I'm like, hold on a minute. There's no weight. What the hell's going on here? Meanwhile, for me, I was looking more for the weight to disappear here, to be honest with you. Like, but I think that's probably all of us in this world when we look to shed a little bit of weight. You know what I mean? But more of the story is, I can't believe she's saying that she went and paid for back lipo. Back lipo, when you can lose that so easy, especially for a woman that is so slim. So slim. Yeah. All I know is this: spending 2,000 on back lipo is just criminal behavior. That money could have gone to doing something with your child on that trip. But anyway, Dias seems to have a very selfish complex right now.
Done like a lipo in my back.
You've taken it too far. She's focusing on herself, and like, she really means it. Like, it is not like, our family's not a priority.
I don't blame you for feeling that way.
Say that I don't prioritize the family. Like, how? I do a lot for you, for Lisi. I gave up my whole life in Brazil to come here.
You've changed.
I am sick and tired of people using this. Even Sarper says this stupid thing as well. I gave up my life. How many years has she now been in the United States? You can't say that you gave up your life. Like, listen, when you first leave your country to move somewhere, fair enough. First year, first few months, fair enough. But if you've been there now for over a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you've had a kid, you've been able to find a job, you've now got money coming in your pocket, that's your own money. You can't say that, oh, you know, I can't be selfish because, or I left my life behind. Really? Nah. That excuse is lame as hell and unacceptable. Because if you really cared, if you was, and it's not like she doesn't go back to Brazil back and forth, because she clearly does.
Didn't tell you first place because like I knew it was going to be a fight, an argument.
I'd rather argue with you than think that you're a liar.
That is such a good comeback. Such a great comeback. I like that one. I'd rather fight with you rather than think that you're a liar. Absolutely. But yeah, no, people need to stop using this excuse of, but I gave up everything. No, you've been there for over a year now. Like, once you've relocated for at least over 6 months to a year, you can't use that excuse anymore, but I gave up this and that and the other. You know what I mean? Especially if you've been able to have a family, have a job, earn money, and also being able to travel back to your home anyway to see your family. Like, come on now. It's like me saying, well, you know what? Even though I've been in the UK now for like, I don't know, like 28 years, you know what? Even though I've been here for 28 years now, each time I go in a relationship with somebody that's in the UK, I'm going to be like, listen, but you don't know what I gave up to be here, you know? Like, you have no idea what I've sacrificed. Really? You know what I mean? Get out of here with that madness and that stupidity. But now we're going to dive into the last one here, and this one being Sarper and Shekinah.
Can't tell me to my face, but he's able to express it to an audience for me to hear.
It's a comedian thing, and comedians always roast people, whoever the closest to them.
I mean, listen, he's not wrong in what he's saying, but at the same time, though, if your product is based on just purely roasting your woman, that is not a good look. Not a good look in any shape or form. That says a lot about you. So, yeah.
You left me in the middle of a moment when I needed you, not to defend me, to at least just be by my side.
Now, let me give you lovely folks context on what she's talking about. So, as you know, Thias and Shekinah do not like each other. And Shekinah decides to approach Thias and says, hey, how come you unfollowed me on social media? and Dice pretty much denies the whole thing. So much to the point that Carla got involved. It was like so unnecessary. Patrick got involved. It's like, oh my god, it's getting out of hand. But because other people started getting a voice in, instead of Sarper sitting there and standing by his woman's side, he got up and left the whole situation and left her to basically have to fend for herself. And now she's obviously upset with given the fact that her husband couldn't at least be there. She's even said to him that it's not the fact I needed you to say anything, but you could at least just be there with me whilst this was happening. And to be fair, I do absolutely agree with her. But let's dive into this, because to be honest with you, I don't know what pedestal that some people put Sarper on, but this guy is a straight up scumbag. Trust me, we're going to get into that not only in this episode, but I know it's going to happen throughout the episode, throughout the season. But this doesn't mean that Shekinah is not a scumbag either, just to clarify. Everybody gets it.
And look at you swearing. I hate your disgusting Turkish swearing. It's the most ugly thing I've ever heard in my life.
The thing that I've always disliked about Sarper is that whenever he gets into confrontation with his woman, he always has to use slurs. Why? Why? It's so degrading. Like, I cannot stand anybody that use slurs against their partner. Men or women, it's just not right. I mean, you never hear it come out of my mouth. For me, if I'm having a little bit of banter with you, listen, I'll happily use this slur and that slur for banter. But when it's a serious conversation, no. Everything that comes out of my mouth is purely respectful words.
I cannot handle it strong. I mean, it's like, it's so difficult to change it. How will I change you? Huh? How will I change you?
Every till I change you.
Yes.
Instead of how will I change myself?
How will we
That's
change?
everything that's wrong with this relationship right there.
To be fair, she's not lying though. Using the terms of how will I change you is madness. And to be honest with you, the real phrase realistically should be, how can we improve together? That should be the real thing. How can we both get over this together? You know, how can we both move forward from this? How can we both work on this together? No matter what you say, it should be how can we? There should be you or I. It should be we. What is the point of having a relationship if I'm saying I or you? Okay, obviously in context purposes, some situations obviously require I's and U's. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I am going to go to this place and do something. Fair enough, this is what I'm saying. But when it comes to a situation that affects both of you two in a relationship, if none of you are saying we, then why the hell are you together? Let me know.
I just would like to know I'm not alone. That's it.
I'm doing everything. I left my life, easy life,
You left your
in Turkey and came
garbage
here.
life and
I don't.
He left his easy life in Turkey. Oh, you see what I mean? The same thing as Dice. But let me allow him to marinate his nonsense.
an amazing life now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean,
I don't know why he denies not having an amazing life right now, because end of the day, he's now, so he was in Turkey having a fantastic life. He did what he wanted to do. He was a PT, he was sleeping with women, he had his family. Listen, he had a fantastic life. He's now in America, but he's also still having another version of a fantastic life. The difference now is that he's now a comedian, you know what I mean? Where obviously he's moving from location to location, earning money, so much to the point that he's now earning more money than Shekinah. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's definitely living a good life now financially. Do you see what I'm saying? So the fact that he tried to use this whole excuse of, oh, I left everything behind for you, is nonsense, because that stage has passed. Only morons and pathetic people use that thing as an excuse.
Because of legal issues for K1 visa thing, I was a ghost for a while. I didn't have any identity. I couldn't work.
I want you to let that sink in. He's saying that obviously he was a ghost for a while because he had no identity, because he couldn't work. But now he's worked, all of a sudden he's got an identity, and his identity is now based on just being an a-hole.
I felt myself so weak. Right now, I again regained my strength, financially, everything in America. I just want again to be the alpha male. But
I just want to be an alpha male again. Does he not understand that being an alpha male means that you do things the right way, not the mean way? For example, if you ever have a conflict with your woman, first you should be saying words like we. Secondly, you should not be saying any verbal slurs in any shape or form. But instead, he does all those things, and he wants to talk about being an alpha male. He's the kind of person that walks in the room and demands respect rather than actually earning respect or being acknowledged to be respected. Do you see what I'm saying? Weak. He says he felt weak when he first came because he couldn't work, couldn't do this and that, and now he doesn't feel weak anymore. No. You're still a weak person. Point blank, period.
she doesn't respect me anymore. That's my biggest issue. Breadwinner, more than breadwinner. I'm the whole bakery right now. But when it comes to the respect, it is gluten-free.
Somebody tell me, what has Sarper ever done throughout any of the seasons that tells you that if you was in a relationship with him or even a friend of him, that you'd be like, you know what, I can respect you? Let me know, because I try to think about this. And I've never come across a season where I can say, you know, I respect this guy. Because when I track back and I thought about him before, you know, first he's somebody that likes to boast about all those women he slept with. Then he has a whole book about all the women he slept with. Then he'd keep a cabinet of all the drinks he had with all the women he slept with. Then he wouldn't want to change the sofa with the women he slept with. Then on top of that, he let some random guy that was in Shekinah's life literally get to him every single point rather than dealing in a better way. You know what I mean? And when he came to America, he kept complaining about how Shekinah was too controlling, but he wasn't actually trying to do anything to, you know, solve the situation, just complained about it. Then he finally gets a career, obviously doing what he's doing. Oh, then before that, when he was a PT, he didn't put a backbone to let Shekinah know that, listen, this is my work. I will client whoever I want to client. He didn't do that. Instead, he just did some madness. He's also become a part of the way she looks in terms of her surgeries, what she eats. Like, what's he done that's respectful? Do you see what I'm saying? And now we're at a point where he's now a comedian making jokes about his own relationship, but doesn't actually want to solve his relationship. So he happily make a joke about his relationship, but not actually have a conversation about his relationship to try and solve the relationship. So what has he actually done that's ever been respectful? Why should Shekinah respect him? But also in the same conversation, why should he respect her? Obviously, in their relationship, respect is something that is a madness between the both of them. But either way, though, he wants respect, but he hasn't done anything to show respect, to show that he's grown to be respected. Like I said before, he's the kind of person that demands respect rather than actually earns it.
It's not about money. It's about how you treat me. Men want us to respect them, but you have to earn respect. You have to deserve respect. And if you're telling me when you're angry at me that you're going to everyone in the city we live in.
And is that respectful? No. Same thing as Zaid. Zaid tells Rebecca that at the end of the day, you know, if you don't believe me or whatever, then I'm going to leave. Okay, cool, leave then. And this one here, okay, well, go sleep with him then. Do what you got to do in it. And he wants to talk about being an alpha male. He wants to be respected. And he thought this whole thing is about money. No, it's about how you're treating her. Like, end of the day, I don't think Shekinah is something that really cares that much about money per se, because she's already good herself anyway. She just wants a man that's going to come in and that can put her in her place, but also in a respectful way to the point that she can respect him back. Simple as that. She's a very simple person, to be honest with you. As much as she is a complete, trust me, she's simple. But a lot of men nowadays just don't know how to navigate with, you know, yeah, but it is what it is.
I accept this.
So it's like a threat.
Like, she should be grateful that he's with her.
Okay. Then as a man, when you get mad, sometimes you say something.
Yeah, that doesn't make it okay.
You see that nonsense that came out of his mouth? Sometimes as a man, you know, when you get upset, you say things that you shouldn't be saying. Nobody, speak for yourself, because I don't do that. I hate when people generalize. As a man, as a woman, no, speak for yourself. That is disgusting behavior. Ugh. Either way, though, the matter of fact is we've always known from the very beginning that this relationship has been doomed from the most part. So let's just see, obviously, what happens by the end of this season. But as of right now, currently in real time, allegedly they are no longer together. But we have to wait and find out to see how this season ends to really give us a better picture of that. Because this is not the first time these two have come into a season and insinuated that they're not together at the beginning of the season starting. And then you watch the season, all of a sudden they're still together. Either way, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section and we can most certainly talk about it. But with that being said, though, it's going to be one hell of a season. Have a great, and please make sure you hype the video, like the video, subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks so much for your time.